What if every drop of water on Earth vanished? Right now. No evaporation, no warning. Just delete. One moment, sunlit waves carve glassy tunnels. The next, the sea is a memory. A surfer rides a perfect blue barrel. The light through water is crystalline. Then the surf glitches, and the ocean collapses into absence. Sound cuts to nothing. The rider falls 20 feet onto dry sand, a hard impact that echoes like a verdict. Across the planet, rivers freeze mid-flight. A glass of water sits full, then empty, as if erased. In a single millisecond, 71% of our planet is gone. This is day zero. The first sound isn't screaming, it's crashing. The ocean dissolves beneath cargo ships, and whole fleets begin to freefall toward an exposed seabed thousands of meters below. Metal screams as hulls buckle. Containers detach and scatter like falling cities. Submarines, engineered to resist pressure, implode outward when pressure disappears. Shrapnel and twisted titanium spin through dry air. Pan out. The Titanic lies finally dry, a century-old relic now dwarfed by modern wreckage piled around it. Destroyers atop container ships, aircraft carriers folded like sheets of metal. Harsh sunlight bleaches decks. Gulls circle confused above a new desert. On every coastline, ports are ruined, cranes topple, fuel tanks rupture, and the global maritime economy dies overnight. This is only the opening chord. The greatest mass extinction in Earth's history happens in minutes. Coral reefs, once riotous with color, are white skeletons carved into cracked mud. Schools of fish flop like spilled coins. Jellyfish collapse into transparent shreds. Billions of creatures, plankton, krill, tuna, sharks, whales, are stranded and sobbing in sun-dry heat. The smell is immediate and obscene. Salt, rot, and the metal tang of exposed sulfides fermenting under the sun. Waves no longer erase footprints. Scavengers pick through the remains. The ocean is no longer a habitat. It's a graveyard stretching beyond every horizon, an odor-laden panorama of extinction. Then, the lights go out. Hydroelectric turbines cease mid-rotation. Hoover Dam becomes a canyon of dead metal. Cities that once glittered now flicker and die as power grids collapse without water-driven generation. Natural gas and thermal plants falter as cooling systems fail. The real nightmare is nuclear. Reactors rely on massive water systems to remove heat. Without coolant, decay heat cooks fuel assemblies. Containment seals choke and fracture. Within hours, Chernobyl-level meltdowns bloom across the map. Radioactive plumes ride thermals over abandoned suburbs, forcing instant evacuations that have nowhere to go. Communication networks stutter. Hospitals run on dwindling backup batteries. Civilization's electrical heartbeat falters into a rhythmic silence. You reach for water. Nothing. Faucets sigh air. Municipal reservoirs lie cracked and useless. Supermarkets are emptied within hours as people hoard bottles and bathtub caches. The human body is 60% water. Even healthy adults feel the first sharp headache within a day. By 48 hours, muscle cramps, dizziness, and nausea set in. By 72 hours, kidneys begin to fail, consciousness blurs, and organs cascade toward shutdown. Agriculture collapses, irrigation systems are dead, livestock perish in fields, and seed stocks rot without controlled storage. Trucks cannot move without coolant and maintenance. Global supply chains, already brittle, snap, and what little food remains becomes a currency of survival. Without water inside their cells, forests become tinder overnight. Canopies desiccate, undergrowth shrivels. A single lightning strike, a lone campfire, an electrical short, in any of the world's major biomes, becomes an ignition point. The Amazon, the Congo, the Siberian taiga. Satellite vistas show orange veins racing across continents as fires merge into unstoppable fronts. Smoke columns tower like black cathedrals. Convective updrafts spawn pyrocumulonimbus storms that hurl embers towns away. Urban centers along fire lines become islands of ash. Firefighting aircraft are grounded without water to drop. The world watches as ecosystems combust in a single, relentless day. The smoke turns day into night. Cities are swallowed by a choking blanket. Respirators and masks become worthless as salt and chemical-laden dust fills lungs. The exposed ocean floor, starved of moisture, pulverizes into a fine metallic dust, super sand that travels for thousands of kilometers on new, ruthless winds. Salt crystals abrade skin and corrode metal. Airborne toxins from decaying marine life and ruptured industrial sites mix into a lethal haze. Visibility drops to meters. Navigation by air or sea is impossible. Clinics overflow with people gasping for each breath. The sky is no longer shelter. It becomes an instrument of slow suffocation. The oceans once weighted the planet, pressing down on tectonic plates, stabilizing crustal flecks. With that burden gone, Earth rebounds. Coastlines lift. Continental shelves snap back with seismic violence. Fault lines awaken in unison. Earthquakes sever bridges, split megacities, and collapse infrastructure built for a different gravity. Volcanoes, relieved by decompression and fed by destabilized magma chambers, erupt in chains. Plumes of ash and lava rewrite maps. Cliffs that were once submerged fall away into newly exposed chasms. The planet's geology has been reordered in hours. The ground itself is no longer a trusted surface. Oceans were Earth's thermostat, storing heat and moderating extremes. Without them, the climate tears itself apart. Days ramp to furnace heat, concrete softens, asphalt liquefies in deserts of broken cities. Nights plunge into bone-freezing cold as thermal mass is gone. Local weather systems collapse, jet streams stutter. The atmosphere, no longer replenished by evaporative cycles, thins at the edges. Molecules escape gradually into space. Seasonal rhythms die. Crops that survived the fires or thirst now wither under violent thermal swings. The planet's temperature swings are no longer weather. They are lethal pulses. In the end, Earth survives as a world, but not as the one that birthed life. A brown, scarred orb turns in silence, wind whistling across an arid plain where oceans once hummed like a planetary heart. Cities are ruins, coastlines are cliffs, and the memory of blue fades into legend. Life, for most, has ended. What remains is scattered, desperate, and transient. The blue marble is gone, replaced by a silent, lifeless rock. Life was only a temporary guest, and water was the only reason we were invited. On-screen text, "Don't waste it." Fade to black.